What's up, y'all? Jameson here. Taylor 614. I always thought this guitar was a piece of art. I bought this here in Chicago at the Chicago Music Exchange. I'll be checking that place out later. If I were to tell the truth right now, to set myself free, is that I don't really think I'm as good as I thought I was. My fingers are injured. I injured them years ago in 2014, and my guitar playing hasn't been the same since. I have circulation issues in my hand. I have circulation issues in my arms. My fingers are inflamed. They're not as fast and agile as they used to be. And I'm just like coming to terms with the fact that, or the idea or opinion that I'm really just kind of a hack. You know, yeah, I can play some fast stuff. I can do some shredding. I've won some contests for performance. You know, I get paid to entertain. That's cool. But on the scale of like the community of guitar players, you know, these days I go on YouTube and I'm just like, I give up. And it's not very inspiring when I go to play and I feel my arm getting tingly and then my hand starts to lock up. Or I wake up in the middle of the night and there's some pain in my right wrist and in my hands. It really breaks me because guitar is everything to me. It's been my identity for a long time. Being a musician has really kind of been, you know, my thing. And as I get older and I face these situations, you know, I work on my diet. You know, it's another thing is I'm not in my best shape of my life. And I'm not trying to be full of self-pity here, but just honesty, like realizing that I'm not going to be young and vibrant and full of energy forever. Like there comes a time when we hit a plateau and we have to kind of chill and we have to accept, you know, that we're not going to be running and gunning and burning the candle at both ends if we want to live. You know, I put down alcohol over 10 years ago, which was a really great thing for me because alcohol led to so many other things. For me, you know, I'm not a pro drinker. I'm not good at that. And I'm glad I did that. I've been able to get more honest with myself in life, and I've been able to show up, be more responsible, have integrity. You know, I've had some really great experiences, you know. I've had some other not so great experiences too, but that's part of life. But I don't go get drunk about it, you know, or I don't go get high about it. I deal with it on life's terms, and that's really huge for me. But right now I'm struggling because I used to practice all the time. I would run scales and you know, acoustics aren't really meant for bending. I used to be so much more accurate than that. But woe is me, right? Who cares? I just say that just to be honest. You know, I've done a great job, I have to say, of creating a brand for myself and getting gigs and being pretty successful. I'm not a millionaire. I'm not super rich, but I can pay my bills. And you know, that for that I'm grateful, and I really need to like stay humble and stay focused on that, be grateful for that, because even that could be taken away at any time, you know. And so as I sit here and reflect on my current skill set, you know, I just let go. And just be grateful that I can even do this. And then what stumble into. And then I'm not going to write anything down. And I'm probably going to sing out of key. But there's a freedom to just strumming a random pattern, feeling the vibe. If I were to tell the truth, it's that I don't really think that I can do what I used to. Radically accepting my fate, but it's not too late for me to shift into a new dimension in reality. It's just a matter of perception and perspective. Don't have to rhyme all the time. Just speak your truth and confess the mess and all of the stress. It's all a lie. It's all a lie. Everything that I've tried to be, I failed miserably. So now what? I'm not this idea or this avatar. I get to start over and reset and go back to square one, 0.0. No expectations, no roles, no calls to return, no emails to return, nothing to fix, just move on. If I'm not getting responses, if I'm not getting anybody that shows that I have any value in their life, cool, I don't take it personally, I'll move on. You know, if I brought my money and my business somewhere and they just can't live up to expectations or basic common courtesy, move on. Take my money somewhere else. You know, expectations. Life is all about just managing expectations. And I've expected too much from myself. And I've led people to believe I'm something that I'm not. And so now I get to start over. It doesn't mean I have to throw everything away. But I get to sit down with a piece of paper and be like, let's redesign this brand. Who is this person? You know, I look different, I feel different, I am different, but I'm still the same. And if there's some kind of image or avatar that you've been feeding your energy to keep alive, you know, in order to show up and support other people's egoic story about you and not let them down, you know, so I don't want to let anybody down, you know. I want to make sure that people still like me, you know, this illusion, because people are too focused on themselves to even care enough, you know. You can see that in simple interactions with people. When they don't respond to your text or your message, you know, you're not that important, but you can't take it personally. What you need to do is make yourself important enough for yourself and just get buried in your project, your work, your life, in the flow so much that you don't care about the outside world anymore. It's not your job to. It's not my job to. People have their opinions of me. People have their opinions of you. And it's frankly none of my business. Thanks for listening.